So we know, if they win, that the next fight will be with us.
Peter Zeihan is an extremely intelligent man with the propensity for long, drawn-out, melodramatic statements that speak to his need to be an opportunist.
That they cannot be physically secure unless they can block the territories that allow access to the heartland. They're facing a demographic collapse. They know if they don't expand militarily now, they won't be able to in the future. And those access points that they need, Ukraine isn't one of them. Ukraine is in the unfortunate position on being on the way to two of them. So from the Russian point of view, Ukraine is just a step. And when they are done with Ukraine, if they are successful, they will come for Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and Bulgaria, and Romania, excuse me, NATO countries. So we know, if they win, that the next fight will be with us.
Even if Russia were to have swept through Ukraine a year ago, or even if they managed to take Ukraine slowly, piece by piece, until its eventual collapse, they will not move on to NATO countries. Before the war, this may have been up for debate, but it is no longer.
But they don't know how to fight a conventional war any longer. So the defense estimates that I have seen suggest 1,000 to 1 casualty ratios. They're doing worse than the Iraqis did in '92. But they see this as a fight for their existential survival, and they are right. So there will be a nuclear exchange. Just to underline that, if Ukraine loses, we will lose cities.
Opportunist. And instead of giving an honest assessment, he's chosen to side with the Western military-industrial complex and promote the worst-case scenario as a realistic or even most likely outcome, instead of discussing it from an objective perspective as the most unrealistic or least likely to occur.
Everyone I've spoken to in the defense ministries across NATO, when that column going for Kiev in the first week of the war, when that failed, everyone saw where this would go if Ukraine fell. So it might not be up for public discussion because it's a really dark conversation, like even by today's standards. But I think that has sunk in everywhere.
This is now simply a gaslighting tactic used by NATO in order to continue the flow of tax dollars. Now, I'm not saying that NATO shouldn't stand ready to defend itself, but striking fear into 1 billion or more people and promoting the least likely worst-case scenario to occur is completely unnecessary, dishonest, and even dangerous. The numbers just don't support this narrative. Russia has lost too much to do anything of consequence towards NATO, yet we still speak about them as some ominous force, when they are really just an old cantankerous bear. At this point, victory to Putin will be to hold and secure the Donbass and Crimea in order to protect pro-Russian ethnic lands and access to the Black Sea. A bonus would be to move non-NATO countries into their sphere of influence or outright control. But this idea that the next step is the former Eastern Bloc, because of needed access points or an existential threat to their existence, is wrong. It's a NATO wet dream that needs to stop.
Thank you for watching my brief dismantling of Z-porn. I am currently working on a long-form comprehensive breakdown of the Ukraine-Russian conflict, and I will have it posted this weekend. I will also be revisiting Peter Zeihan's take on this subject and including it in my report. Thanks for watching and listening, and you know the drill. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and stay sane out there.